a pole. He was wearing a cast on his leg, and she wanted him to steal a street sign bearing the name Engelbert Road. I'm telling you, this audience is absolutely wild. This is Joyce's daughter, Kathy. Kathy says she's an Engelbert brat. No, he's not her father. Aha, more about that later. Because from the day she was born, she was raised on a steady diet of nothing but Engelbert Humperdinck. This is Julia. Julia has been an Engelbert addict for over 20 years. She's one of those women who used to go to these concerts, throw her underwear on stage to him, and would hang outside the hotel lobby in hopes of catching a glimpse of him. And this is Faye. Faye says she has to work 2 jobs to support the Engelbert habit. Remember, we said there's a woman addicted? She first saw him on television 24 years ago. She is devoted to seeing Engelbert Humperdinck every chance she gets, and it's her addiction, so we're going to start with her. Faye, I think you may hold the world's record for having attended the most Engelbert Humperdinck concerts. How many have you been to?
2,560.
Know that you've been to 2,560
yes.
concerts. Mm-hmm. Do you know every word, every song he sings?
Yes, I do.
I mean, like in your sleep, you could sing if he fell down or something? God forbid, you could run
I don't have his voice, but I
you
can do
don't.
it.
You work 2 jobs to support your habit of Engelbert.
Mm-hmm.
You are
7 days a week
of a fan club called
Enges Forever Friends.
Enges Forever Friends. Mm-hmm. You are single.
Yes.
He is the man in your life.
No, I go out, but...
The 2 necklaces you're wearing?
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
This one is his autograph in gold, and then this one I had made in Hawaii the last time I was there.
How did this begin?
My father started me out. He heard him on TV, and he came home and said, you have to hear this guy sing. He has a real funny name, but listen to the music. And I listened. Then I saw him on TV. I went to a concert, and the rest is history.
See, I didn't ever think I'd interview anyone like you. Now, you tip up to 100... I shouldn't say this, right?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. She tips heavy for good seats, and you've given maitre d's everything you've got?
Yeah.
Everything you got?
Everything, including blood if they want it, whatever it takes to get down front.
And when you go, you are wearing...
all new clothes, usually.
Always buy clothes to attend the concert. Not to be on stage, but to attend the concert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you worry about him as if he was your child.
I do. You have to worry about him. You want the shows to be good for him and the audience to be good, and so you sit there and worry all the time before the show.
Tell me about the truckload of hankies.
I don't have a truckload of hankies. I only have 4.
Do.
She's a truckload of hankies.
Truckload of hankies, Adrian?
Yeah, quite a few. Because I've been on stage with him 25 times.
Well, you mean these are his hankies?
These are the hankies that he throws out to all of us at the end of the show, or when you've been a lady on stage with him. You get that as a souvenir for having been up there.
Oh, I thought maybe you walked up and pulled his hanky out of his pocket or anything like that. And you've decorated his dressing room?
Right. As fan clubs, we have the privilege of where he's having a concert. If we're in that particular area, like my club is based in New Jersey, we're able to ask for permission to do the dressing room, and if you've been given the opportunity, that's what you do. And we pick a theme.
Wait, given the opportunity of decorating his dressing room?
Yeah.
This is like the major privilege?
Sure. Sure
okay.
It is. Because it gives a lot of the fans that may not have the opportunity to meet him in person, it gives them the opportunity to do something for him, and then possibly have the opportunity to meet him.
And are you married?
No.
Okay.
But one thing has nothing to do with
Who's
the other.
married? Susan, are you married?
Yeah.
What does your husband think about that?
He thinks it's nice, you know. He thinks if I'm happy about it and it makes me happy, he thinks it's great. He was so excited for me to be on here today. He didn't sleep all night.
He didn't sleep all night?
No, he was so nervous and excited for me. He couldn't sleep.
Joyce, tell me about that. Is that the real street sign?
Yes, it is. That was from Nanuet, New York. And it was a cold and rainy night. My son was 14 years old, and we pulled up to the theater, and I looked up and I said, I want it. I want it. And my son knew the tone when I said, I want it. And he got it for me. He climbed up, and the funniest thing was he was in a cast. And he truly was. My daughter can vouch for that. He was in a cast from his groin to his ankle. Full cast. He got the street sign down for me.
I mean, the heck with the kid's well-being, right? Let's make priorities. Julia and Joyce went to Hollywood, the Walk of Fame, right? Tell me about that.
Yes, we did. We were fortunate enough to be able to attend the Walk of Fame, and we had the privilege of seeing Eng accept his star there. And this is a replica of the star.
Now, you should hear the oohs and the ahs. Okay, you've watched talk shows for a long time. I hope you've watched us over the 10 years we've been with you, right? Some of you? This is a cult show. Am I correct? An Engelbert, Humperdinck cult show. It's about time to meet the man that these women... This is where I'm supposed to say, you're supposed to be quiet. I'm supposed to say it's about time to meet the man that these women are mad over, singing What If I Try. Please welcome Engelbert Humperdinck.
What if I tried? What if I tried to do the things I never did before, my love? What if I tried? What if I tried to never hurt you like I did before, my love? All we really need is truth and understanding. Break down the wall that keeps us far apart. And you never really told me you were hurting. All I ever did was take away the passion from your heart. What if I tried to bring back loving moments that we shared, my love? What if I tried? Ouch. What if I tried turning back the hands of time for you, my love? For all the world, I never want to lose you. No one could ever hold you apart. And if you could only know how much I love you, all I ever want is take away the hurt that's in your heart. What if I tried? What if I tried to make our world a fantasy, all dreams, my love? What if I tried? What if I tried? And like the story goes, you'll be my queen, my love. Oh, my love, my love. What if we try?
Yes, but my goodness, that's a real passionate kiss like that to a fan?
Practice. I had practice.
That was from one of the 200 concerts that he gives each year, and we're delighted to have him as our guest today. He is celebrating his 25th anniversary in show business. I have to say, you know, to survive in this business is difficult anyhow. To survive 25 years as a singer, and I think he looks as sexy today as he did 25 years ago.
I started when I was this big.
It's a hard thing to carry on sex appeal for 25 years. I mean, I would think. There's not a lot of guys with that kind of run.
I know.
Don't you think?
I don't try to carry it on. I just try to be, you know, me, and whatever it is.
You don't work at it? I mean, what is the sex appeal thing? When you're standing there, are you inwardly thinking, and you know the words of the song, so you're inwardly thinking, if I thrust my pelvis like this, or I hold my mouth like this, they'll think I'm sexy. Do you concentrate on that?
No, I think it's something you get when you're a little boy. I mean, the first time you look at a young lady, you know that there's a way of flirting with that young lady, right? There's a flirt that goes.
But are we all the same, or don't you have to flirt?
Everyone's the same. I mean, I'm not on my own. I think every man...
No, I mean us. Don't some of us flirt differently?
As far as... I don't understand.
Well, when you're... are we all alike in the dark, is I guess what I'm saying.
Sally was a hot number.
No, but you said when you're a little boy, you look at a woman and...
I mean, that's how it develops. A relationship between man and woman, you know, that... I guess you get it from a little boy.
I've never been a little boy.
You should try it, Sally.
You were pretty passionate with that woman that we saw in the tape. What do the fans mean to you? I mean, this is insane. We've never had anything, this show is 10 years old. We've never had people running around screaming. They're practically tearing the fixtures out of the way.
They're all crazy. They're all crazy. Every one of them are crazy.
Yes.
But I love them. I thank them. And I appreciate the 25 years we've been together, and all the new ones that come along, we appreciate them as well. You know, it's a wonderful relationship. You know, it's tough making love to all these ladies.
Does somebody plot this?
No. It just happened. I think it just happened from 1967. It just sort of 68 when I first came to this country, but 67 was the start of it. You know, where Release Me came along, and up went my career, and I have them to thank for it. They wrote it along.
But why is it not done then like a Rogers and Cowan or somebody, that you have 260 fan clubs and Michael Jackson has I don't know how many, but certainly not 200. Doesn't that have to be plotted?
I don't think any PR company could ever do the job that they did.
The people do it.
That's right. They did it.
Wow. Appeal can get a guy in trouble. We're going to take a look at this.
Hi. Hello. Thank you very much. Do they look like me?
reports of paternity suits that have been filed against you. How do you react? In other words, are the reports true? I mean, you're joking about the children may look like you.
Well, the reports have been, there's been so many of them that now it's become a joke, and I make fun of it on stage like that. You know, it is. I mean, everybody who wants a father points the finger at Humperdinck, you know. And, you know, I see a swelling and I just run away.
Has anyone ever caught you in court so that you had to pay for somebody and spend your life paying for them or something?
There have been mistakes made, but not by me. You know, I mean, I have to say that in all sincerity. And I mean, the press, you know, the usual papers, the trash papers, they have a field day. Yes, we've had people who have been caught coming into my, they come in laundry baskets and then they sit in cupboards and things like that. But only the press have found them in my bed.
No one else?
No.
How does your wife react to that? I mean, is she long-suffering?
Alarmingly, I would say she's been punished in many ways, you know, but she's a good lady, and I love her very much, and she stood by me all these years. She's you know, she's guided my career in a lot of ways too, you know, and now we're still together, and it's very unusual.
How long?
Let's see, 28 years.
That's pretty wonderful. That really is wonderful. I found out something that I didn't know. My husband has always been trying to grow sideburns. Engelbert introduced sideburns to America. Now that's going to go down in one of those history books, right? He's Mr. Sideburns. I understand over the years that you've had some pretty strange things thrown at you on stage. Like...
yes, the...
underwear. This one is when the lights are out, it says, "Light my fire." These are panties, right? And you turn me on. Same thing with the light bulb. Boy, we could have made a fortune.
They really want to be seen, don't they?
And falsies. Falsies!
I had one once, and there was a big bite taken out of it. Some guy got there before I did, I tell you that.
Do they still do this?
Huh?
Do they still do this?
No, not this. They stopped doing all that.
They stopped? That was a time.
That was just a time. Now it's the keys.
Keys? Well, your fans in the audience told me they missed not throwing their underwear.
Really?
Yeah, and they wanted an opportunity to show you how much that they love you.
They're not going to do it now, are they?
Go for it! Engelbert's son. Stay with us.
Proudly welcome to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Engelbert Humperdinck.
That made Engelbert Humperdinck famous when he first sang it 25 years ago, and he's celebrating his 25th year in show business, and he's our special guest today. Engelbert Humperdinck, you have more letters in your name than I do, and I have always had problems with it. You were not born Engelbert Humperdinck, you were born...
Arnold George Dorsey.
And Engelbert Humperdinck, I at least know this because I'm a classical music fan, wrote Hansel and Gretel, German composer, wrote Hansel. Where'd you get that name?
Well, my manager and myself, when we first started, you know, we were looking for a name, and I was looking for all kinds of things, so Humperdinck was better than Strangledink, I thought.
But was it the right decision? It sounds silly now. But
no, It sounded silly at the time. Yes, it does still sound. But it sounded even worse at the beginning. You know, I mean, when I first heard about it, I just fell off the stool when my manager called me up and said, "Your name is now Engelbert Humperdinck." But I tried desperately under the other name, and nothing happened, so we had to do something serious.
How long? It's always interesting to me, since I've had what one would call a rough career. When you say you tried under the other name, singing in little clubs and not quite making it, how bad was it and how long?
I'm going to give my age away now, right?
No, I didn't ask. You don't have to tell the
I
years.
started when I was 17, and I got lucky in show business. I got lucky in show business when I was 27.
So 10 years before. Yeah. Not a lot of people want to put 10 years, into...
That's a lot of time.
10 years of being hungry? Were you hungry?
You see, I decided to go out on my own. I wasn't hungry because I was hungry because I wanted to do it myself. If I was at home with my parents, I would never have been hungry because they took care of me, But I went out on my own, and I got myself into a lot of debt by staying in places where I couldn't afford. And sometimes when I got a job, I would go out and I'd come back and pay the rent, and I'd have nothing to eat, because the rent would take up, I needed a roof over my head. And a lot of times I would go out and do clubs for the weekend, and I would earn very small money, so I would have enough money to go there on the train and come back. But I would stay in public conveniences, all night sitting on the toilet like that with my coat up. I know it's an odd situation, but it's a true situation.
So you were the homeless, actually.
I did, yeah. It was a stinking job,
Engelbert, you were born in India?
I was, yes.
And you're English?
I'm English. My father was in the British Army.
And were your parents supportive?
Of my career?
Yes.
Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning, because it was so, unsteady, shall we say, that even when I first started courting my wife, and my parents would tell her to tell me, "Why don't you tell him to get a real job?" And then we got married. It was still the same thing, because I hadn't made it as yet, And I was determined, and I think determination proved in the end,
As long as one, keeps with the dream.
Yeah,
Tell me about Mom. I know you were very devoted, and I have a real relation. My mother's passed on. Yours has
Mine too, yes. Mine passed on in '88. I mean, our relationship was extraordinary. My father's and my mother's, but, my mother was an exceptional lady. Everybody who met her fell in love with her. She had an appeal that, I don't know. Can you talk?
Well, I'm a good listener. My mother was the most important thing in my life. And when she passed on, she never lived to see me do any of this.
Well, my mother was a very important person in my life, too. I mean, I would travel across the world to see her. Whenever I had time off, as soon as I finished my work, I worked 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or 3 weeks on and 2 weeks off. The next day I would be on a plane and fly home, see her.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to contact her?
You mean spiritually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it work?
No, she's left a message, and I knew that it could come from her.
And you knew it was her?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I know you have a feeling about being a crooner or as opposed to a singer. No, I know. You don't like that word. No. I know. No, the crooner was a dirty word, all right? Why do you feel that way about the phrase crooner?
I don't object to, I mean, a crooner is a crooner, but I am not a crooner.
The octave is larger.
Yeah, I have a 3.5 range octave range, and people are a baritone or a tenor. They all have the different thing. I'm a contemporary singer.
I think I want to show you something that you probably haven't seen in a long time. This is your appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
Engelbert comes from a large family of 10 and has 4 children of his own. Tell me about your son, Scott.
My son, Scott, is the one that wanted to be involved with my business, and he's been traveling on the road with me for quite some time. He started off by just learning the business, you know, about the lights and about the sound, about the box office. About
Is he good?
And he's very good, and eventually he finished up managing me, and he's I would have.
Scott, come on out. That's really something for Dad to say, you know. And I don't think he'd say it if he really didn't mean it. He could say something else, like he's a good guy. Right. What kind of father?
Well, he's the best. He's the best father. There's no question. There's no question in my mind, in my sister's mind, in my brother's mind. He's the best father.
Now
and
I
the
know.
best singer in the world. But,
Now that I told him to say.
I know, but he still, as a manager, has to be dispassionate about certain things. And I know Dad does. What I have heard are not the best imitations in the world.
His impression?
Wait, I want to ask his manager, Scott, what do you think of Dad's imitation?
I think they're wonderful. I think we should try and get him to do a couple. He's going to hate me for saying this.
What's your favorite, Scott? Ask him to do it.
His favorite?
No, yours.
My favorite. It's close between Jerry Lewis and maybe even Julio. Yeah. But I think Jerry Lewis.
Will you do either? You can do either of those.
Now, yeah, the reason I got my name Jerry at the beginning is because when I started doing impressions, Jerry was my best impression that I did. And so everyone used to call me Jerry. And so I didn't call myself Jerry with a J. I called myself Jerry with a G.
And that's how it all came about, lady. A perfectly wonderful way of doing it. I thought it was the best way to do it.
When we come back, we're going to meet a 7-year-old girl who Engelbert has kind of adopted. She is living with AIDS, and Engelbert will sing a special tribute song to her. So I wanted you to see these ladies' jackets. Would you stand up? You're so beautiful and so lovely. Turn your back to the camera. Don't go away. Engelbert is one of those celebrities who gives back. Leukemia, the American Lung Association, and the National Campaign to Prevent Child Abuse and Neglect. Now I understand that he's devoted some of his time to a 7-year-old girl who's living with AIDS. Her name is Heidi, and she wanted to be here to celebrate the 25th anniversary, and she came from Las Vegas, which is a very difficult trip because she had to bring her own oxygen because she has sometimes some trouble breathing. Heidi, you have a poem that you have written. Would you like to read that for us? You look lovely. I like your shoes.
Thank you.
And would you like to read that poem for us?
I have AIDS, and I know that it's okay to have AIDS. I'm just a normal person, and I'm not to blame. But I know when someone has AIDS, finds out they have AIDS, they will have to live with it. And don't worry about what other people think, and just be happy.
Mom and I think she did real well, didn't she? She always does well. She always does well. Engelbert, you won't believe this, but it's true. My staff came running into me and said, Engelbert Humperdinck is in the green room, and he's just sitting there and he's writing a song like that, you know, like it's that easy. And this is a song that you would like to sing for Heidi, and I'd like to hear it, wouldn't we? All like to hear it.
are the children, innocent children of the universe. We need to hear them, for their lives have just begun. These are the children, beautiful children we must not deny. Stop them from crying, turn tears into rivers of love. So reach out and tell the world about it. Reach out, don't whisper, we must shout it. Reach out, together we can spread the word salvation, salvation. Reach out and tell the world about it. Reach out, don't whisper, we must shout it. Reach out, we gotta make a miracle come true. Yes, we do now.
Call me and tell me what went wrong. Engelbert, when word got out that you were here today, we got a call from someone who said he knows things about you that no one else does, okay? So, of course, we invited him to be here. He told us how you like your steaks cooked, what kind of golfer you are, and that you lost big bucks playing cards together one weekend. Can you guess who that is? No. He was Engelbert's opening act for 10 years, one of the stars of the long-running play Catskills on Broadway. Welcome, Engelbert's friend,
All right. He's a big star now. He's on Broadway. Big star. And I know all these ladies. I know all these ladies.
Dick?
They know every joke I've ever told all my life. Some nights I'd be working and I would forget my spot. I'd just look at one of the fans and where am I? And they would do my jokes for me.
That's what I
watch
asked.
this, watch this. What did I do when I met Colonel Sanders? I licked his finger. They know all my jokes.
When we come back, Dick makes Engelbert do something that requires a lot of strength. Don't go away. Dick, tell me about Engelbert. Why is he as successful as he is? I could have asked Scott, but I think it's better to ask you.
Why is he so successful?
Yeah, you're a show business person. And
Yeah, well, he has the magic. There's a certain extra something that some people have. Somebody can be a star, somebody can be a semi-name, but some people have extra. He happens to have that magic. And when you're the opening act... When you're the opening act, when you walk on stage, you are invisible after the show.
Yeah.
One night we were in the MGM, and word comes back that Cary Grant is in the audience. Well, I'm excited. Everybody loves Cary Grant. So I go on stage. I know Cary Grant's out there. I want to do my best, and I do my act, and the audience is terrific. Come off stage. Engelbert goes on. He kills the audience, murders them. Now, when the show's over, I know Cary Grant is going to come backstage, say hello to Engelbert. Me, I want to meet Cary Grant. So I know the doors are going to open up, and Cary Grant's going to walk and just look at me in the face. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden the doors open, and there is Cary Grant. And he looks at me, Cary Grant, he says, "You were wonderful." He says, "I just laughed and laughed at you. You were just terrific. You made my whole night. And you fooled me with all that mime you do." He says, "Where's Engelbert's dressing room?" I said, "Well, come with me, Cary." my friend. He loves me, right? Take him into Engelbert's dressing room. Engelbert's changing. He's changing. He's finished showering and getting ready to meet his guests. And I'm alone in the dressing room with Cary Grant. I says, would you like to have something to drink? Cary. My friend, he says, oh, no, thank you. Maybe a Coca-Cola. He says, let me tell you how wonderful you were. You know, he said, I just laughed all night long. You just really made my night. You were just sensational. I said, thanks a lot, Car. It's Car now. He's going to invite me to the house for Christmas dinner. Now, Engelbert finally showers, comes out, he's all dressed, and Cary Grant sees Engelbert. Cary Grant walks over. He's Engelbert, he says, this was the best one-man show I've ever seen. What happened to Laughed and Laughed? Invisible.
Question.
I just want to know if you get nervous just prior to going on stage to perform.
Do I still get nervous? I do. My hands get cold, very, very cold.
Now, Dick said that you are very strong, that you...
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what he does.
Give him the cards.
All right. Now, I don't know if you want to do it. I'm going to tell you. I just happened when I left from my house. Engelbert is a very strong guy, and this is no joke. Engelbert can rip a deck of cards in half and then in quarters legitimately, and I ain't lying. And these are real cards, Engelbert. They're not plastic. You can't rip plastic. I hope these are.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because it's different. And it's going to be, look, real cards. You think you can do it?
I don't think I can.
Well, give it a try.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Well, give it a try. It's great fun.
I haven't. Why are you doing this to me?
Go try it. See if you can do it. I'm going to give you some spot. Watch, this is amazing.